People say nothing hurts more than broken bones. They're wrong. Real pain is hearing your mother lock the door while you stand outside freezing in the dark, and realizing she has no intention of letting you back in. My name is Ava Carter. I was 15 years old that winter. Rain pounded the trailer roof while I stood barefoot outside the door, soaked and freezing. Inside, music blasted so loudly the windows shook. My parents were throwing another party, which was funny, considering we barely had food in the fridge most days. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom was addicted to gambling. Neither of them worked. They lived off government checks and spent most of the money getting drunk with strangers who came and went from our trailer almost every night. And somehow, everything wrong in their lives was always my fault. If you hadn't been born, we'd actually have money. I heard those words so many times. At school, things weren't much better. My clothes were old, faded, and sometimes ripped at the sleeves because I'd worn them for years. I tried sewing some of them myself, but the other kids still noticed. They would mock me every time I walked by, so I stopped trying to make friends. Most mornings, I went to school hungry because there was barely any food at home. Sometimes I drank water just to fool my stomach into feeling full. And there I was, locked out like I didn't belong there at all. That's when I noticed the tiny puppy hiding under the porch steps. He was soaked, skinny, and trembling almost as hard as I was. "Hey, little guy," I whispered, kneeling into the freezing mud. The puppy crawled into my arms like he already knew what abandonment felt like. Across the street, warm light glowed through a neighbor's window. Their family sat together watching Hidden Storybox on YouTube, laughing at the story on screen. For a second, I forgot how cold I was. Honestly, if you love emotional stories, you should check them out and leave a like. Then reality came crashing back. Because behind me, the front door suddenly swung open. Dad looked at me holding the puppy in the rain. His face twisted with disgust. And without saying a single word, he threw a bowl of leftover food straight into my face. I just stood there in shock, while cold food slid down my face, and the people inside laughed at me like I was some kind of joke. I didn't say a word. I just held that tiny puppy tighter in my arms. And trust me, that night was only the beginning. I named the puppy Rusty because of the reddish fur around his tiny ears. He followed me everywhere after that. At night, he curled up beside me under my thin blanket while I secretly gave him part of my food even when my own stomach hurt from hunger. But my parents hated him immediately.
That mutt stinks.
Throw it back outside where you found it.
One night, Dad grabbed Rusty by the neck and tried to drag him toward the door. I screamed so loudly the neighbors probably heard me. I knew if I wanted to protect him, I needed money. So I started knocking on doors around the trailer park asking for work. I offered to wash cars, clean yards, carry boxes, anything. But most people took one look at me and slammed the door.
You're from that thief family, right? Get lost before something disappears.
After days of rejection, an old mechanic finally hired me at his repair shop. The job was brutal. I scrubbed greasy floors, carried heavy tires, and organized rusty tools until my hands burned. If I stopped for even a second, the man would start yelling. But every night, I still walked home clutching a small bag of dog food, like it was treasure. Because Rusty was depending on me now. One night, I came home exhausted from work just as my parents' party was ending. Drunk strangers stumbled past me toward the door laughing. Then I heard Rusty crying. Oh my God, Rusty. He was lying on the kitchen floor trembling, one of his tiny legs twisted badly like someone had stepped on him. I panicked and ran all the way to the nearest animal clinic in the pouring rain. The lights were already shutting off when I burst through the door holding him in my arms.
Please help him, I beg.
I begged.
I don't have money right now, but I just got a job. I swear I'll pay everything back.
The veterinarian looked at me quietly for a second. Her name tag said Dr. Bennett. Bring him here, she said softly. Dr. Bennett wrapped Rusty in a warm towel and carefully checked his injured leg. Then my stomach growled loudly enough to make my face burn with embarrassment. And a second later, Dr. Bennett returned with a sandwich, hot chocolate, and an oversized hoodie for me. Here, she said quietly.
You need this more than I do.
While Rusty was getting treated, Dr. Bennett asked me small questions about school, work, and how long I'd had him. Nobody had cared enough to ask me those things before. Rusty's leg wasn't broken, just badly bruised. When she finished wrapping it, I almost cried from relief. Before I left, Dr. Bennett knelt beside me and gently scratched Rusty behind the ears.
You're a good kid, Carter. Most people would have walked away. But you didn't.
But you didn't.
To thank you,
I'll pay you back when I get my salary. I promise.
Dr.
No,
Bennett
sweetheart.
smiled and shook her
Rusty's
head.
treatment is free. Free? Oh, thank you so much.
After that night, I started coming back to the clinic whenever I finished work. I cleaned cages, swept floors, and helped feed the animals without being asked. And every single time, Dr. Bennett smiled, like she was actually happy to see me there. Dr. Bennett often gave me leftover food. Sometimes she gave me old sweaters, jeans, or shoes that belonged to her daughter. I think she knew I needed them without me saying anything. For the first time in years, I stopped feeling invisible. Unfortunately, my parents noticed too. One night, Mom grabbed the sleeve of the clean hoodie Dr. Bennett had given me.
get this?
Dad immediately figured it out.
That lady has money, doesn't she?
A few minutes later, they were screaming at me to steal from the clinic. Cash,
Cash, jewelry, anything valuable.
No.
Give it to me now!
I whispered.
Where
Dad
is it?
slapped me
Stop,
hard across
please!
the face.
We fed you for 15 years. Now make yourself useful for once.
I never asked for anything.
I kept refusing until Dad grabbed Rusty and threatened to throw him outside again. That broke me. The next evening, I walked into the clinic shaking so badly I could barely speak. Dr. Bennett immediately noticed something was wrong.
What happened, Carter?
The lie almost
I-
got stuck in my throat.
I don't really have anyone. My parents are gone. I've been sleeping wherever I can.
The second I said it, guilt hit me like a punch. Dr. Bennett looked heartbroken.
You're not sleeping on the
She
streets
gently pulled
tonight.
me into a
Come
hug
home
before I
with
could
me.
stop myself from crying. I froze. Nobody had ever said those words to me before. Dr. Bennett's house felt nothing like the trailer I grew up in. It smelled like fresh laundry and candles instead of beer and smoke. The lights were warm, the furniture matched, and nobody was screaming. But her daughter clearly didn't want me there. Her name was Madison. She looked about my age, wearing expensive clothes and holding a phone that probably cost more than everything I owned combined.
This is Carter. She'll stay with us for a little while.
Madison rolled her eyes immediately.
Seriously,
Before
Mom.
anyone could say anything else, Rusty suddenly jumped from my arms straight onto Madison's lap. She let out an annoyed
Get this
scream.
dirty thing off me.
But while complaining, she absent-mindedly started scratching behind his ears. Rusty's tail wagged wildly. I stared at her in confusion. Madison had everything I'd ever dreamed about: nice clothes, a beautiful house, a mother who actually cared, yet she still looked angry all the time. Dinner that night felt painfully awkward. Madison barely spoke unless it was to
You
argue
care
with her
more
mom.
about random animals than me.
He snapped before storming upstairs. Dr. Bennett looked exhausted after she left. A few days later, my nightmare followed me there. My parents showed up drunk at the front door demanding money.
You think you're too good for us
Dad
now?
shouted from the porch. Mom pointed straight at Dr. Bennett.
She's probably stealing from you already.
I froze. Dr. Bennett slowly turned toward me, confusion flashing across her face, because I had told her I didn't have parents. Eventually, she managed to get them off the property, but the look in her eyes stayed stuck in my head all night. Fear twisted inside my chest. If I didn't bring money back, my parents would never leave me alone. So after midnight, I quietly crept into the living room. My hands shook as I opened a drawer searching for cash. Then suddenly,
What are you doing?
Madison's scream nearly stopped my heart. The lamp switched on upstairs. She stared at the money in my hands with pure disgust.
I knew it, Mom! She's stealing from us! How could you do this to our family?
Dr.
Answer
Bennett
me!
rushed
Don't
into
just
the
stand
room
there!
and froze when she saw me standing there trembling beside the open drawer. Shame hit me so hard I couldn't breathe. I dropped everything and ran outside into the freezing dark. A truck came speeding around the corner. At the last second, someone grabbed my arm and yanked me back. Dr. Bennett. I completely broke down crying.
They made me do it. They said they'd hurt Rusty. I didn't know what to do.
Dr. Bennett pulled me into her arms while I shook uncontrollably from crying.
It's okay. You're scared. I understand that.
Dr. Bennett gently wiped tears from my face.
Carter, my childhood wasn't much different from yours. I know what it feels like to grow up terrified in your own home.
She hugged me tighter for a moment, then
Come
carefully
on.
helped me back
You're
to my
coming
feet.
home with me.
When Dr. Bennett brought me back home, Madison was waiting in the kitchen with her arms crossed.
So the thief gets a second chance?
She said coldly.
Madison.
Dr. Bennett warned, but Madison just laughed bitterly.
You lied to my mom, tried to rob us, and somehow she still feels sorry for you.
I kept my head down and quietly walked past her. After that, things got worse between us. Madison snapped at me constantly.
Dogs
if I touched
belong
something in the
outside.
house, she acted like I was contaminating it. One afternoon, she found Rusty sleeping on the couch and shoved him off onto the floor.
At least he's loyal. Loyal, I'm done.
I shot back. Madison's face hardened instantly. For a second, I thought she might actually slap me. A few days later, I was walking home from school when I spotted Madison near the parking lot surrounded by 3 older girls. They were mocking her loudly, while one of them shoved her backpack into a puddle.
Your mom probably loves stray animals more than you.
One girl laughed. Madison looked furious, but also humiliated. Before I could think,
Leave her
I stepped
alone!
between them.
Or what?
One girl smirked.
This!
I shoved the backpack back at them hard enough to make them stumble. After a few more insults, they finally walked away. Madison stared at me silently the entire walk home. That night, she knocked on my bedroom door.
I don't hate
She
you.
admitted quietly.
I was just scared.
She said. Then suddenly you showed up.
Ever since my parents divorced, it's just been me
Her
and
voice
my
cracked
mom.
slightly.
Then suddenly you showed up, and she cared about you
For
too.
the first time since meeting her, I finally understood Madison too. Things slowly became better after that. Sometimes we watched movies together while Rusty slept between us on the couch. Other times, the 3 of us cooked dinner while Dr. Bennett laughed at our terrible attempts not to burn the food. For the first time in my life, I felt like I belonged somewhere. One evening, Dr. Bennett came to pick me up after my shift at the repair shop. The streets were almost empty when we started walking home together. That's when my parents appeared. Dad grabbed my arm so hard it hurt instantly.
You think you can abandon us?
Mom looked
You
furious.
ruined our lives! How could you do this
Dr.
to
Bennett
us?
immediately stepped
You are a
between us.
disgrace!
Stay away from her, she warned. Dad shoved her hard. Everything happened too fast after that. She lost her balance near the curb just as headlights came speeding around the corner. The sound of the impact still haunts me. I remember screaming, and I remember Dr. Bennett lying motionless on the cold pavement. The police arrived minutes later and arrested both of my parents, but none of it mattered anymore. At the funeral, Madison wouldn't even look at me.
This is your
She
fault.
whispered through tears.
If Mom never met you, she'd still be alive.
Every word
I
shattered
hate
something
you.
inside me. A few days later, Madison left to live with her father. And suddenly, I had nobody again. While gathering my things from Dr. Bennett's office, I accidentally found paperwork sitting on her desk.
Tại sao lại là em?
Adoption papers. My name was
Em
already
không thể
written on
tin
them.
được.
She only needed one
Trái tim
final
này đau
signature.
quá.
I completely broke down. Dr. Bennett hadn't just cared about me. She had wanted me to become part of her family for real. After that, I drifted through town with Rusty beside me. No home, no food, no idea what to do next. One night, I stood inside a gas station staring at a sandwich near the counter. My hands were shaking so badly I almost took it. But then I heard Dr. Bennett's voice in my head. Pain doesn't give you permission to become cruel. So I walked away hungry. Later that night, I curled up on a freezing park bench, holding Rusty against my chest. And eventually, I passed out from exhaustion. The next morning, a police officer found me unconscious on the park bench, with Rusty curled against my chest. That's how I ended up in a foster home. I was terrified at first, but none of that happened. The people there were kind. They gave me warm meals, clean clothes, and something I still wasn't used to: patience. I went back to school, studied harder than ever, and held onto the dream Dr. Bennett inspired in me. I wanted to become a veterinarian just like her. Years later, the impossible finally happened. I got accepted into a university overseas with a scholarship. The day before leaving town, I visited Dr. Bennett's old house one last time. The porch looked emptier without her flowers. While I stood there holding Rusty's leash, one of the neighbors recognized me.
Oh my god. You're Carter,
The
right?
woman looked surprised.
Madison came by here a few times looking for you. She wanted to apologize.
My chest tightened instantly. But it was too late. Madison had already moved away, and nobody knew where she went. I looked down at the acceptance letter in my hands and realized something painful. The woman who saved my life would never get to see the future she gave me. But because of her, I finally had one. Maybe some wounds never fully disappear. Maybe a part of us always stays trapped in the worst night of our lives. But I think Dr. Bennett was right. Pain can break people, or it can teach them how to protect others from feeling the same way. And honestly, sometimes I still wonder if I should try to find Madison again.